The moment we've been waiting for. Somebody's been waiting for this. Extrema Ratio RAO 2. We have 3 of them here. I drilled a hole in the back of the handle, 4 inches from the pivot, on 2 of them. 1. The controversy is to test it with or without its safety pin. So we'll do one with, one without. Versus the long-awaited Cold Steel 4max. CPM 20 CV blade, G10, 3D machined, tie liners, tie backspacer, triad lock. Get a close-up of that. Tell me if you can see this close-up like we want to see. Looking good? Okay. Versus the RAO, or whatever it is, 2 N690 blade or N680.
N690.
N690 blade. I don't know what they call this lock. It's kind of like an axis lock but vertical. It's supposed to not be a one-headed knife. It says in the print, use 2 hands for safety, but then there's this stuff here that you can use one-handed, so I don't know. Aluminum. I think it has a steel back strap here. Aluminum frame, and I can see a compression spring here running this pin. So it should be pretty strong because it's nearly a 1/4 inch thick blade. Round in here, that's not breaking very easily. And then you can put the secondary pin, which screws in here, twists in, and then it becomes what?
The result is the knife called RAO, a survival knife. Not a big folder, but a compact field knife with a strong and heavy blade and a very safe locking system. Assisted by an extra safe device that turns the folder into a real fixed blade knife. The blade
okay, that's enough. Is it a real fixed blade knife? Probably not, because
it's a folder.
Well, it folds, and when you put this through here and it's readily accessible to be removed, it's not really fixed. A real fixed blade, let's do a commercial for the fixed blade AK-47. If you want to pretend that's a fixed blade, that's cool. Do you think that fixed blade is ever as good as this 3V DLC coated AK-47? Maybe. I would take this if I was just talking fixed blades. But a really gigantic folder that's pretty cool, well that's that. The blade is pretty thick. It's ground pretty thick. It's going to be pretty stout and strong. It's going to lack some cutting ability that I like, but it'll gain a lot in strength and digging and prying, and that's probably the reason why the blade is this thick. Put this AK away. The 4max, when I designed this years ago, I've EDC'd one of these knives, my handmade ones, for years. And it's designed, when I designed it, I wanted it the maximum performance 4-inch knife. Meaning the blade is 4 inches of cutting edge. It's about as much cutting power as you can pack into a knife and still being functional and just usable. You know, we could make this knife twice as strong because we would put a twice as thick blade in it, twice as thick liners. It would just be dumb and it'd be cumbersome. So there's a point when you have to have usability and actual function involved, but extreme strength, extreme cutting performance, and that's what we were looking for here. So Cold Steel says this may be the strongest 4-inch knife in the world. People say this may be. Other people say, well, that's not a foiling knife. It doesn't really matter because we're just here to break stuff and test stuff. So here we go. We're going to test with and without. We're going to do the overstrike, spine wax. We're going to hang the weight. Probably I'm going to get worn out first because I'm going to move a lot of plates around. But let's put in the 4max. Use our torque wrench. We're holding with 30 pounds of torque. 30 pounds of weight. Looking for 5. no doubt that the RAO will pass this test with the pin, the extra safety pin. Because how could it? You're not going to shear that pin out. Without the pin though, we're going to see if gravity takes, am I still in good shot there? I'm going to see it running away from me. Gravity works against it. Perfect. Okay, let's do the RAO. I'm going to mark this one A, and that'll be without the pin. Get rid of that. We should mention it's cool, the sheath. It's pretty big, but you can run it in there. It did come with a really cool flat sharpened stone that we've already procured for ourselves. There is one in here. Best thing about the knife, I thought. And then if you have your blade locked open, screwed in and fixed, and you need to sheath it, sheaths the net. You can run that like that. Kind of good idea. If you're a super mold ninja, then you still put a second one in here if you have them. But anyway. Okay, this is the no pin test. £30 right there. And let's see that it works. Okay, here we go. Technical difficulties, anyway. Sure. 30 pounds is just a good amount of weight to hold it still. If it's too loose, it'll actually whip faster. Sometimes the blades will break. And if it's too rigid, it could break for that reason too. So let's see. Okay, use your safety pin. That's not really a surprise because that's the direction that this is moving. Okay. So, whatever the results here, I'll let our fans, and people that aren't our fans, both make your own decisions. What we're doing is our standard test that we do to all knives. So the labeled A RAO without the pin does not pass the spine whack. This will be with the safety pin installed. As they say, it's a concrete pin. Is that what they say?
Indeed.
I think it's probably hardened steel, but whatever. It's kind of cumbersome to twist this all in, but if you didn't have this, a fixed blade, you know. Now, even if you release that, there's just a little bit of movement, but it's not going anywhere. So whether that pounces out or not, it's not going to close. Unless for some reason that one will break, but that's pretty unlikely. Okay, there's 3 pounds. Got 4. One more. Uh-oh. I don't know if our spring has sprung or what's going on in here. But the safety's there. It's a good thing. Why is this thing moving.
It's always wrong.
Alright. 5. Alright. Let's get to the bottom of this. This will be quite shocking. It's weird. The spring is not in there. It's no longer there. I don't know if it, maybe it just popped out. I keep looking. All right.
So are we calling that a pass or a fail?
We don't know what to call that. Let the fans decide what you. Again, decide what you think.
Inconclusive.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.